Hey y'all, it's the wee hours of December the 28th, 2016, and I was just going through the Drudge Report when I stumbled across a series of articles that you might find to be pretty interesting. Alright, and I thought, maybe I'll just run through them because before I even start, I'm here to tell you that we're all up in the tribulation. And we're going to experience more tribulating times. In fact, more than likely, we're going to experience them very soon. And what it's going to be for many people, perhaps most people in this nation, is going to be an overhand right that you're not going to see coming at all. It's coming. I'm here to talk about it real quick. I want to discuss... if you were to go to the Drudge Report right now, December 28th, 2016, you're going to find a series of articles. This first one caught my eye and sparked my interest. The headline that you're going to see on Drudge is Obama to punish. Obama to punish Russia for election interference. Now, we're going to dive into that. We're only going to read the first paragraph. We only need to read the first paragraph. The Obama administration, according to the Washington Compost, as it's known throughout the internet, the Obama administration is close to announcing a series of measures. This is on his final days in office when he should not be really doing anything. They're close to announcing a series of measures to punish Russia for its interference in the 2016 presidential election. And we know that they've been talking about that sort of stuff, right? We know that they've been talking about it. Some sort of interference that Russia was able to hack and get all these emails and give them to WikiLeaks, and therefore Russia is bad, all right? First of all, zero evidence. I mean, I'm not a smart person. I'm really not at all. But if you want to shut down anybody's argument, if someone's trying to convince you that Russia interfered with our presidential election in any way at all, even though the numbers clearly show that Donald Trump won hand over fist, all right, if someone's going to try and convince you that Russia had anything to do with this, where's the evidence? Huh? You're going to show me some evidence or what? Because here's the only evidence that they're going to give you, and it's not evidence. They're going to say, Russia, they dropped these things at the last second, these problems, these predicaments on Hillary Clinton, and it swayed people's opinions, thereby messing up our election somehow, all right? First of all, it's preposterous. Secondly, where is the evidence? Oh, I forget. The evidence is top secret. And as American people, we're not at liberty to know these kind of things. There is no evidence. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not very sharp, but here's what I can guarantee you. There is no evidence that Russia had anything to do. There's a lot of evidence of election fraud, definitely taking place. I tend to believe that China might have had something to do with fiddling around, but there's no evidence to point to anyone, China, Russia, anybody. There is no evidence, but here's the thing about it. All right, there is no evidence at all to connect Russia at all to our presidential election and the results of it, all right? But the evidence that people will give you is the WikiLeaks and the emails is bad timing. But here's the real question. What's in the emails? I mean, how much incriminating stuff is there? If there's a lot, we better go ahead and investigate it. If you really want justice in this country, you would investigate it. And you find out Forget who got the emails, who hacked into them. Understand that there was an illegal system created to illegally network and something of a behind the scenes government that was going around. They had networks that they went ahead and they took the servers and tried to acid wash them and get rid of them, all completely illegal. All right. More than likely it's going to be a shit ton of very incriminating stuff, including a Hillary Clinton, including a Barack Obama. All right. And really, who in the world would be concerned at this point with who is the people to hack this information? I mean, when we're talking about pedophilia and who at whatever else. All right, so Obama, he's going to punish Russia. Like I said, there's no evidence Russia had anything to do with anything. But he's going to punish them on our behalf in his last final days with economic sanctions and diplomatic censure that I'm sure is going to take place after he gets out of office. I mean, that's a little time bomb that he's setting. Because you got to understand, a furtherance of economic sanctions and diplomatic censure is only going to lead to more tension with Russia. And, you know what I'm saying? Stuff is already turning hot, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of going from Cold War to hot war. And this is Obama lighting a fuse as he's running out the door, basically, in trying to punish Russia for election interference that there is no proof, all right, period. And then you go on to the next headline. I mean, it's just a whole series of headlines that are very disturbing. Germany considers fining Facebook $522,000 per fake news item. Like I said, dude, we're not here to get very complex. The world is very complex. We're here to keep things very simple. You have to understand, the way that numbers go, a nation's government considering fining Facebook $522,000 per fake news item. You gotta understand, fake news has always existed. Always. It always has and always will. Right? There's a reason that, it's called discernment, and it's like, dude, if you have discernment, you will find out what's fake, if you care to know. It's always been fake news. So to fine Facebook as a government, to fine them $522,000 per fake news item, basically what that ensures is that Facebook will have to ban all sort of news. Right, and Facebook is going to be put in a position to have to figure out what's fake and what's not. There's no other way around. If Facebook is not going to pay $522,000, it's impossible. It's not possible. Kerry set to, here's the next headline. Kerry set for final Mid-East speech. Now, from what I understand, John Kerry loves the idea of a two-state system. When we're considering Israel, talking about Israel and Palestine having two states, and he loves that idea, and all sort of crazy stuff's getting stirred up here because here's the thing: the John Kerrys and the Barack Obamas, man, what they want to do is they want to use the power of the UN, whatever kind of power that is, and they want to make a two-state system. It would never ever work. You gotta understand. It's not hard to figure out that it wouldn't work. If you understand that the Bible actually is a history book, it's probably the best history book. In fact, it's definitely the best history book ever in the world. You understand, God, regardless, when it comes to the people of Israel, he made it known, don't ever turn your back on Israel. It's going to be the death of you. All right? And there's a lot of people who believe in that, and there's a lot of people who don't believe in that. But what I'm here to tell you is that this book said that for a reason. This book creates the future. It creates the whole cycle. It carries it out. That all being said, there is a nation that in the entire Western world and beyond is recognized as being called Israel. And it's not a very old nation, but it is recognized by all these other nations globally as being called Israel. And you don't want to turn your back on it. Israel's not full of perfect people at all. You know what I'm saying? When you're speaking about the community of Israel throughout the book of the Bible, they were not perfect. All right. However, they have a covenant. All right. You cannot turn against them, which is what the UN is basically doing. If we're going to keep it simple, that's what they're doing. The UN is turning against them. They're desperately trying to get a two-party. Here's the thing about it. I mean, be as politically correct as you want. Muslims shouldn't take over that land because they're going to destroy it. And I'm not talking bad about all sort of Muslims. It's all sort of Muslims who know in their heart that a two-state system would be a total disaster. And all this friction is like, believe the war of some sort. I mean, absolutely economic sanctions and the like. There's going to be all this friction. That's what's being created. When you consider Obama's trying to punish Russia, all right, stirring up all sort of friction with Russia in his final days, and also the UN at the same time is basically trying to put Israel over a barrel and create a nightmare of a system in Israel, which will thereby turn America's back against Israel. And that ain't good, all right? The Bible speaks clearly about that. And, of course, we got to understand that Donald Trump, he's speaking out at this point against the UN and the fact that we don't need to be paying the UN nothing, all right? They need to keep their business about Israel. The UN doesn't even need to exist, but however, they're trying to make moves. They don't have an army, when you think about it. Anyways, hundreds of new apartments in East Jerusalem. The headlines are reducing ties with nations over vote. The UN is having all sort of votes as to what they think should be done with Israel. You know what? Israel can go ahead and take care of themselves. I'm pretty sure of it. But what John Kerry's and Barack Obama's and the UN is trying to do right now is they're trying to totally muck up the waters and totally throw a wrench in the system that is Israel. All right, it's going to be very hard to remain diplomatic if that's the direction that we. And you got to understand, if Hillary Clinton was about to be the president, that's absolutely the direction we'd be going to. All right, I would have to hope and pray that Donald Trump does not choose to go in the direction of basically starting a war with Israel, cutting ties with Israel, and also trying to get into a war with Russia. Right? None of it makes sense. Right? You gotta hope that's not where the Donald's gonna try and take it. But here's the rub. Donald ain't the president yet. You understand? People are going for broke, trying to start wars right now and get us involved in them. Anyways, we're all sort of balls deep up in the tribulation, and stuff is looking pretty crazy right now. I hope nothing crazy terrible happens within the next few weeks. December the 28th, 2016, and I'll holler at y'all.